You guys have mics?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Sweet.
just had to unmute mine. I was doing a little vest video. Let me get out of here.
Gotcha. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we
hit the
need
buy
to.
station real quick.
Yeah, we just want to do it real quick because that's gonna be a hot spot for everybody else.
Sure, yeah.
And the dang, I don't know if you've seen the enemy chat or there's just the general chat. It's already lit up.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, this is a popular lobby because you'll get in a lobby and there'll be fucking like two teams, maybe the whole game.
You good, Yellow? You just break your legs?
Yeah, can you pick me up?
Blue's gonna have to do it. I'm over at the buy station.
Okay.
Are you inside?
Yeah, inside. Inside the tower.
All right, I got you. Four
Okay.
legs. Yeah, there's gonna be somebody on our right, or at least that's where they're gonna spawn. I don't know how long it's gonna take them to, manifest, but that's usually where they do. Ooh.
The dough didn't come out often. They did.
Train.
I don't see a train.
No, the train has a plea on it.
Uh,
That's where that plea went.
is he like going with the train? Get ambushed by a new AIs.
I'm gonna go get him.
Selfie. If you need it.
Oh, selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you got a mic? Hey, bud, you got a mic? Oh, he just quit out, or somebody picked him up.
It's a quitter.
Oh, he's just not showing plea. I'd pick you up, but
Okay.
not pleading. All right.
It's just not playing.
Yeah, his body's still here. It's weird, and maybe it's glitched on the train. That's possible.
Oh yeah. Don't drop no ammunition. Train.
Yeah.
It's hot.
It's satisfying.
That just went up.
Mm.
Encrypted UAV. USB. Sorry.
get comms on me?
Silent Shogun ganó el Emmy de mejor actriz.
Yeah, I do. Somebody was in the.
Alright, I've got a sniper to my right. Like in this building. Oh shit, and one behind me. Alright, I gotta get out of here. I'm in a bad spot. I don't know who fucking knocked me. But, the two people I killed quit out. Are you guys fighting a team over
Right
there?
there.
Yes. Yes.
I'm coming.
They had the nearest UAV tower. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Yeah, they're over there. Yep, two of them.
I'm on my way. Oh yeah, they're in the helicopter. Right.
One down,
It just
and
crashed
one's
right by you.
sniping.
On you, I guess.
He's right here with us.
Alright, one's over here.
He's on top
Hey,
of the
ladies.
building. Watch out.
What's going on?
Airstrike.
Woo! He's right here. In the corner, behind the proxy mine. Behind
Got the second one. No, third one drove up on an LTV. He's on the building that the mortar's sitting right now.
That one's
He's
mortar,
resing his
yeah.
boy. I took his.
They're on top of my body.
Roger.
They're pretty tactical, so they probably won't be there for long. The girl acts innocent, offering herself up, and then the other guy will sneak around to you, try to flank you.
Yeah, gotcha. Classic.
Yeah.
I
Get
don't
pimped
have.
out.
Oh yeah, there he is.
He just pushed back. There's one more. Watch it.
No, there isn't.
Nah, you definitely got the res. I don't trust you.
That's all of us. I'm solo, friendly. Friendly solo.
That man said he's solo dolo.
I call bullshit.
Solo. Classic
He-
wonton.
He's lying. He's lying.
God, guys, how have you not killed me yet? I fucking suck.
You don't fucking suck, buddy. You can't win them all.
Oh man, that's actually that made me feel better about myself suddenly.
Someone right here. He just flew down off the
Oh
roof.
shit. That's no bueno. Back for you, buddy. God, I need better guns than this.
There you are.
Oh, that's a problem.
Here I am.
I gotta outrun the UAV for a little bit.
Here I go again on my own.
Thank you, sir.
That dang UAV. I was about to say.
I couldn't get it on before. They had a UAV on me already. They would have. You saw
Yeah, you're
how
good.
close that
You're
guy
good.
was to me.
Play it safe, bro. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're very good. They're pretty. Yeah, aggro. Oh, good shot.
Guess what I'm playing with?
Who?
GG's.
GG's, baby girl. Baby girl.
You guys have a fourth, or is it back to the lobby?
You did play it smart.
We did not have a fourth.
You looking to pick up?
It's up to them. Which one?
Dum dum da dum.
The wonton there
Yeah, and the one that
by
actually
the
did some work.
shoddy. Yeah,
You
that
this
one.
right?
Yeah, it's me. Oh, look at that! Thank you.
You have a vest? You have a vest? Hmm.
Nah, I've got ass guns and a 2-plate.
I was like, Tom's vest. What building was I in? Fuck.
You the man.
Which building was one of your boys playing in? Oh, shit.
Sorry, guys.
Where are you at? You remember where one of your boys at? I have one of their vests there.
Yeah, these two here. You got all of us. No, that's another team. You got all of us. I promise there was not a.
Yeah,
there's
he's
not
telling the
another
truth.
place.
Well, the other two are just bleeding out now.
Okay. All right, I'm coming out.
Vitamin DMC. Vitamin DMC.
What's up?
Looks like we're just dying here, buddy.
I know.
I feel like a team might come. Like I tell you, man, I'll be sitting out here for like 8 minutes, and like the last minute they'll come pick me up. I'll be just just chilling. One time, man, I didn't even notice. I was rolling up, and then I got killed after I got revived, and he never came back for me. I missed my chance.
Yeah. Well played, man.
Yeah.
I'm out.
All right, catch you later. On the road again. All by myself. Mm, mm. Stop. No, soon. No, they're not here. Nobody's here.
We all know that Plastic Man is overpowered, but did you know that he once humiliated the entire Justice League? After Injustice Superman and his squad captured Plastic Man's son, Plastic Man confronted them to let him go. However, after Superman refused to free his son, Plastic Man tracked down the Flash and he suffocated him and replicated him. He then tricked Cyborg into son and stole a bunch of Green Lantern rings while infiltrating the prison. He gave the Green Lanterns their rings back and freed his son and everyone else, causing chaos among the prisoners. When the League showed up, he prevented them from entering the prison and used the portal machine he stole from the armory to free all the prisoners. We all know that Plastic Man is overpowered, but did you know he is a legend?
Grand promises and buzzwords. When it comes to the practical day-to-day applications of AI, though, I went from 3,000 to 100,000 in the first 22 days using GPT-4 the whole time. People were afraid that AI was going to take their jobs, but I hired AI to be my social media agent successfully, and it worked. And then now today I'm at about 238,000 followers. So I want to teach you how to leverage the power of AI to enhance your competitive edge.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us here at Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Carla Hada. We are going to continue to speak on the top story of the day, the FBI's investigation into what they're calling the second attempted assassination against former President Donald Trump. Now, all of that went down in West Palm Beach County, Florida, at the Trump International Golf Course. But the suspect actually was caught.
I don't have any bills now. I bought
So you're in my Inner Circle program, but you're also in Arlen's All Access, and you are working on a membership that I'm so excited about. Like, I'm geeking out on your membership specifically because it's just the way that it came about, and I don't know, it's just really, really cool. So tell everyone a little bit about your membership, early days. We know you're just getting started.
Yeah, so it came about so organically, and I think that's probably why we're both I'm excited about it too. My daughter is a softball player, fast pitch softball player, and she wanted to play a select team, sometimes called travel team, tournament team, and we're getting ready to head into tryout season. I thought, okay, well, so I started to ask some of the parents, well, where do I find where all of the tryouts exist, what tryouts she's eligible for, and what teams are in our area, and all of that. We're like, well, we kind of go to these different Facebook groups, and different teams just kind of post all their information there. So I went to these Facebook groups, and yeah, I could find some information about some of the teams, but they didn't even always have like all the information. Like, then I go to their website and try and figure out, are these teams even close enough for us? Or am I talking about driving 2 hours, to practice each way, which, by the way, I would not do. So I kept thinking, gosh, I cannot be the only person who is struggling through this. So I started to put it, I love Airtable, and I started to put it in an Airtable because I figured just keep it all in one place. And I put out a few posts, and I said, so I figured other people must be going through the same thing. And I just said, hey, I've started to track, I don't know if you're having trouble with this, but I'm having trouble tracking all of these tryouts. And I set it up so that the teams could just enter the information directly themselves and send it out. And it went crazy, absolutely nuts. And I'm still, even yesterday, I had a conversation with a parent who I mentioned this spreadsheet, and he said, oh my gosh, that was you.
Yeah. So like thousands of people went to this link, right?
More than 3,000 people accessed the spreadsheet during like the height of tryout season. Almost 300 teams entered their information into this spreadsheet. Like, it was so far beyond.
By the way, you don't do this for a living. You do something else for a living, right?
Correct.
Like,
yeah, I do HR for a living.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of a geek, like, when it comes to, systems and things like that. And that's kind of been a piece of HR, putting systems together. But no, like, this is not my day job at all.
Yeah. So it's a skill you have that you applied to something else because you were solving your own problem, essentially. It ended up solving a lot of other people's problems. So how does that translate now to, like, what made you think about the membership and what you're doing now?
Yeah, so fast forward, my daughter is on a team now, and I find myself, along with a couple of other parents, we're in this role of like team coordinator or team manager. There are all kinds of details for the team that have to be pulled together, and like even in addition to what all the coaches are doing. So frequently, one or more of the parents will be identified as this kind of team coordinator person. So it's like tracking where the tournaments are and what are the uniforms, and do we have lists for what we're supposed to order and where we're supposed to order, and are we going to get a block of hotel rooms when we go out of town, and just, all these details. And once again, I thought, I cannot be the only person who has run into this, of like feeling like we must be reinventing the wheel here. And so even going back to those same Facebook groups, I'm asking some of the questions, and it's the same kind of thing, but it's really hard to find all the information. So the idea for the membership came from like, can we just put this all in one place? Like, so it's easy to find. Also, like, ideas that have worked well for other teams. And I'm kind of a collector, I guess, when it comes to like ideas and things like that. I've just, kind of like to save them. And so yeah, that's where the idea came from, is for other team coordinators, could we just put templates and some of these tools and systems and things that I've created for our team that would be helpful for other teams as well.
And how has being in Arlen's All Access helped with this whole process?
Oh my gosh, it's where the whole idea came from. Literally. Like, it really is. Because up until, it just hadn't even occurred to me that this would be something that I would create a membership around. Again, my focus always had been in, my professional experience, which is in the world of HR. And I'd done a membership there before that had, like, mixed success, I would say. But all of a sudden, like, watching the videos within Arlen's All Access, you have all of these videos and how-tos, and you are, like, showing people how to do it as you go. as well. And so I've watched those videos, like tons of them, you know, the resources, all the stuff that you have there. That's really literally where the whole idea came from.
And so you're kicking things off, and you're starting with the paid membership.
Yep.
It's going to start at 29. That number can always change.
Yeah.
What's your plan? Like, what is your, I guess, your goal, maybe?
My goal, honestly, I mean, the dream would be that this would be the whole business. I mean, that this would take over. Such a wild thought at this point that could be possible, but I really do think it's possible, and especially after, you know, the conversations that we've had around strategy and things like that. So yeah, that would be the ultimate dream. So that's for me personally, but truly it's really about having, again, this place where other parents can go and get resources, you know, help to so many of them. This is also like a side gig for them, even though it's incredibly time consuming. And so I would love to just create this resource that is well known among sports parents for where they can go and just get a ton of information and support and templates and all of the above. That it would just save people a ton of time.
Well, the framing is that you're making them the hero of their teams.
Exactly.
So that's like a really cool framing. And then when you think about the timing, I know so many people are worried about like things happening overnight. If they didn't happen overnight, if there's that struggle of how long does it take to see traction?
Yeah.
How much time are you giving yourself? Because you're really in the first day, basically.
Very, very
like,
early
so how
days.
much time are you giving yourself to see, and what is successful traction for you in the first few days or weeks?
I think what I will be looking for is traction where people are sharing with each other. Like that to me will be the ultimate, you know, if people are getting referred from other members.
Yeah.
That's what I saw with that original spreadsheet was just this crazy, oh my gosh, you know, I'm sharing it with so-and-so. I know somebody else was looking for that. So that I think would be like my ultimate measurement. And I would love at some point to have maybe an affiliate program or something like that.
Yeah. When you join Arlen's All Access, I teach you how to make an automated message when you first come in, but you can do that on School, right, which is what you're using. And I asked in the first question, how did you find me? Like, how did you find Arlen's All Access? So every single day I have that data of where things came from.
Yeah, I love that.
So you could even have that in your direct message, that automated message where there is a template on Arlen's All Access for you to just copy paste.
Awesome.
And yours could say, did someone refer you? Who do I have to thank? You know?
I love that. I love that. I will definitely do that.
What's a fear that you have had to overcome in order to do this membership, do you think?
I have thought about the, like, who the heck am I? You know, who am I to create this? Like, I'm not a professional sports person, you know, like, I don't have any of that. So that's probably the biggest one. But I realized I'm going through this right now as a parent team coordinator, whatever you want to call us. And well, yeah, who am I not to? You know, I clearly have a skill set that not everybody has. And what really drove this home for me was one conversation after one of the practices just in the last week where one of the other parents said, oh yeah, thanks for creating, they were talking just specifically about what I created for my daughter's team because I've shared it with all the parents so they can see it's very transparent. She said, I would love to have those skills, but I don't have that. I don't have that in me. And I thought, okay, like,
yeah, and you are reading something.
Yeah.
That, and so how do you think someone can translate that learning? Because that's a deep one. Like, how can someone who's thinking about starting a membership, but it's not like they're a doctor and it's for doctors, you know, like how do you help them get over that fear?
I think there's a ton of value in like we can learn together, right? Or I'm new to this and I have specific skills that I've brought in, or I brought a really unique perspective to, you know, this particular role or skill that you're teaching people. I think there's a lot of value in that. And like, let's do this together, you know, let's build this together. And I think that's what you've done with All Access as well, right? Is like you're building this incredible partnership.
Yeah.
And you're sharing as you go. And that's one of the things that I've learned the most from is this, let's do this together, you know, let's see each other's success.
Yeah, and we're seeing it too. It's so exciting. I mean, there are so many people who are starting their memberships, and just starting is like the success. Like that's a huge step. And to go from not even thinking about it to I'm going to do it and then doing it's amazing. If a parent who's watching this is interested in joining your membership, how do they find you?
They can go directly to travelteamhero.com and it'll send you right into the membership.
That's great. So you have it forwarded into School?
Yeah,
that's a really great hack.
Yep. set up the domain, and it auto forwards directly to the school membership.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And we will keep track and we'll keep checking in on you.
We were in deep trouble at Netflix. We had losses for about 50. Sometimes, the only thing more difficult than running a business is finding the right words to market it. Lucky for you, our new AI content generator doesn't sweat words. Just tell it what you want. Are you over 40 and feeling pressured to niche down to succeed on YouTube? What if the secret to standing out was actually doing the opposite? See, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can turn your unique life experience into a thriving niche, all while creating content quickly and effectively using a simple process which you can complete in just a couple of hours a week. Yes, it's true. Just a couple of hours a week. You see, your life story is your biggest asset, and I'm going to help you leverage that to stand out on YouTube. Because 99% of people struggle to find a niche because they're looking in the wrong places. I'll guide you through a process to discover and harness the niche that's been within you all along. It's in here. And I'll prove it by showing you how you can create high quality content in just a couple of hours a week using a framework that aligns perfectly with your unique perspective. And to really help you accelerate this journey, I've created something special for you. It's a program called Courage Before Confidence, where I'll be in your inbox every day for 30 days, helping you build the camera confidence that you need to create your compelling content. If you're ready to take that step, and you really want to make your mark, you can find more about that in the description below. What if I told you the biggest mistake that most content creators make is trying to create videos for algorithms instead of humans? You see, the truth is your content should be crafted with a specific person in mind. Yes, your ideal viewer. Let me share my own journey with you. Over the last 10 years, I've walked the path that you might be on now. I've faced the same challenges, overcome similar obstacles, and all through it, I've learned what works and what doesn't. But the key was understanding who I was making trends and trying to gamify the system. I focused on creating videos that resonate with people like me. Over 40, with a wealth of experience and a desire to connect on a deeper level. My content is no longer about flashy edits or fast cuts. It's about quality, connection, and authenticity. That's what my audience want. That's what keeps you coming back. The takeaway here is simple. Every great video starts with a great idea. And that idea doesn't come from trying to outsmart an algorithm. It comes from knowing who your audience is and creating content that speaks directly to them. Your experiences, your stories, your unique perspective are what create your own blue ocean. A space where you don't have to compete with others who are fighting in that overcrowded red ocean. You're not trying to be the next Mr. Beast or anyone else for that matter. You're just carving out your own space where you are the niche. That's what makes your content truly stand out. This idea is drawn from the concept of the Blue Ocean Strategy, a strategy that focuses on creating uncontested market space in the world of YouTube. That means instead of competing against the same space as everyone else, you're creating something unique and unmatched by leveraging what only you can offer. Because you are the biggest gift that you can give to this world. So now that you know that you are the niche, how do we get attention on YouTube? Well, it's quite simple, isn't it? And you've heard it from me before. 2 things. And what if I told you the key to crafting those 2 things, that title and that thumbnail, isn't about mimicking big YouTubers, but rather about understanding what truly resonates with your specific audience? One of the biggest mistakes I see creators make is trying to replicate what's working for these huge channels like Mr. Beast, but only to be disappointed when their own videos barely get a handful of views. The truth is, what works for them might not work for you, especially if you're just starting out. Instead, it's important to look at what's working for those smaller channels. They're growing creators, and they're closer to where you are right now. You see, these creators are often experimenting, they're taking risks, they're finding new ways to engage with their audience. When I first started focusing on my YouTube channel, I learned this the the hard way. I spent so much time trying to model these big players, but only to realize that my audience was not connected with that approach. It was only when I started to study the smaller YouTubers, and those smaller successful channels in my world, and analyze what was working for them, that I began to see real growth. Look at my last 3 or 4 videos. That shows you this. It proves what I'm talking about. I realized that the titles should be a balance between what's already proven to work and what people are actively searching for. That's where the sweet spot is, using data-driven insights while still staying true to who you are and your own unique perspectives. Now, when it comes to thumbnails, simplicity is key. I've adopted a style that's not only easy to produce, but also effective in catching the eye. I use a picture of myself, yes, this beautiful smiling face with a clear expression. A background that is styled on my brand color with a few simple, bold words. You'll see a lot of these YouTube gurus now saying, make your thumbnail simple. Well, yeah, obviously. But everyone got wrapped up in the whole Mr. Beast, big contrast, big edit thing, didn't they? Well, this simple approach works because it passes what I call the glance test. If your thumbnail catches someone's eye in a split second, especially on a small screen like a phone, you've done your job. I also keep in mind the shrink test, a technique that ensures your thumbnail still looks good when it's shrunk down to a tiny size. If it passes this test, you are on the right track. So, big text, high contrast, human face. All these elements make your thumbnail more relatable and clickable. The bottom line to this is, start by creating titles based on what's already working and what people are searching for. Once you've got that foundation, your thumbnail should be simple, eye-catching, and designed to create curiosity. Give your videos the best chance of standing out and connecting with your audience. So what's next? Well, if you're over 40, you've probably noticed that flashy edits, fast cuts, they just don't resonate with you the way that they might with a younger audience. Well, the truth is, you don't need all that noise to hold your viewers' attention. I know, because I'm getting pissed off with them and I've been making them. In my own journey on YouTube, I realized the key to retaining viewers isn't in mastering every trendy editing technique, but in how to connect with them through my voice, through my actions, through my authenticity. It's taken me 20 or 30 videos to start to see the patterns in my retention graph, and what I find was eye-opening. Over time, with consistency, I've discovered that viewers were staying for the content, funnily enough, that felt real and unpolished, where I wasn't afraid to let my true self shine through, even if it meant leaving a few mistakes. Actually, I've even started to emphasize the mistakes in my edit. You see, for us midlifers, the goal isn't to compete with fast-paced editing styles of these younger creators. I'm saying younger creators because previously I was very conscious that I was using the word kids a lot. Anyway, instead it's about scripting in a way that reflects how we like to consume content. Simple, direct, authentic. That's why I use a straightforward framework for my videos, which I've developed over time. The hook, the mindset, the story, the teach, and the action step. Here's how it works. The hook is a simple one-liner, grabs attention. The mindset piece is a simple question designed to get into the head of your viewer and make them think. Then you flow naturally into your story. Your story. This is where you connect with your audience on a personal level, showing them that you understand where they are coming from. And then next it comes to the teaching point. Just one thing that you want them to take away from this video. Then finally, the action step. That could be a call to action like subscribe, smash the like bell, and all those funky stuff. Actually, do you know what? You can subscribe and you can smash the like bell and all that for me. So that's the script, but now we've got to make the video. Well, let's look at AVL. Audio, video, lighting. Let's talk about the technical side and how to keep it super simple. You don't need expensive gear to create a great video. So let's start with audio. If you've got a simple lav mic, that's great. It'll pick up your voice clearly and keep the background noise to a minimum. But if you don't have a mic, shooting in a quiet room like this one, soft furnishings can dampen the sound and make your voice clear and crisp. That's it for audio. For video, smartphone camera is more than enough to get you started. Don't over-invest. Consider framing yourself the rule of thirds, so that you sit center camera. This way you can use it for repurposing. You can make YouTube shorts, TikToks, Instagram reels, all of that. Personally, I don't believe you need to. I don't believe you need any of those other social channels. And you're probably thinking, huh? What? He owns a social media agency. But if you want me to tell you why on another video, comment below and I'll make that video for you. And then there's lighting. As far as lighting goes, you don't need professional light. Natural light is your best friend. Shoot during the daytime, near a window, let natural light brighten up your face. The beauty in keeping it real and authentic and even a little bit raw resonates strongly with the over 40 audience and really with anyone looking for genuine content these days. Let's face it, by scripting your videos in this way and keeping your audio, video and lighting setup simple, you not only make your process easier for yourself, but you'll also create content that resonates deeply with your tribe because you're keeping it real. However, if you're finding it challenging to articulate who you are on camera or to build that camera confidence, I have just the resource for you. My Courage Before Confidence training program is designed to help you become camera confident in 30 days or less. With daily guidance delivered straight into your inbox. I've coached thousands on this already, and you can find more details in the description below. So after you've gone through the process of ideation, scripting, shooting, editing actually isn't that overwhelming. In fact, the beauty of being completely and unapologetically yourself means that your editing can be minimal and still incredibly effective. In my own videos, I found that embracing my authenticity, I don't need to spend hours perfecting every little detail in post-production. The goal is to tell your story, to give your audience an action step, and keep them engaged and make them think. When you focus on these essentials, your editing becomes a natural extension of the content that you've just created. One thing I've learned is that adding a bit of music in the background can subtly enhance the emotional flow of the video. There's a tip for you. I usually find a track that fits the tone, turn it down to about 5 or 10%, and then let it play softly in the background. This not only helps smooth over any imperfections in your delivery, but also adds a layer of polish that makes that video feel a bit more cohesive. Another simple technique I use is incorporating some jump cuts. Shows the transitions in a thought or keeps the pace moving. But beyond that, I add emphasis with some pop-up words or graphics and the occasional bit of B-roll just to help drive that message home. For instance, if there's a key point that I want to highlight, I should create a graphic in Canva, add an animation to it, pop it on a transparent background, and just overlay it on the video. This adds a bit of visual interest without requiring huge, complex editing skills. What's great about this approach is that it's real, it's raw, it resonates with people who are tired of all this overly polished, remember, but on something a little lighter now, I remember the day your NFT collections came out. That was super cool. So I hosted a morning show called FOMO Hour with my friend OSF and Mando and now Tyler. And so we were live on air when the link dropped. And so it was the very, very first collection. There was a chance to have dinner with you. And I remember just like scrambling to buy them. We're staying live. We stopped the show live on air to thousands of people like, oh, we got to buy these. We're going to buy these. I'm going to spend $25K on this. Let's go, right? Let's do it. Which is another cool thing about people in crypto, right? Or there's crypto bros they call. And so we're trying to buy these things. And it was just so electric and crazy that we actually failed. But hey, I guess that's a good thing because the collection, ended up selling out. And then you ended up doing, you ended up doing that 3 times over. Can you tell us more about the success that you have had with NFTs, but also did that surprise you?
Well, I got in very late and NFT was considered cold. I mean, to be honest, it was a cold industry. It had its day a few years before, as you probably know. But when I did it, I said, what do we have to do with anything else? And it's playing cards and some beautiful artwork, other things. And we went out with 45,000 NFTs, and it was amazing. We thought it would take 6 months, maybe a year to sell. It sold out. I don't want to get myself in trouble by saying exactly the first day, but pretty close to it. It was almost immediately.
It was quick.
Yeah.
We failed every transaction.
Right, almost immediately. And then we did a second one likewise, and then we did a third one. And then we just did a fourth one. And I asked the people from the first 3, I said, well, do you want to have us do? Because, they have they have very big pride to start off with. But I said, are you going to, if we do a fourth one, does that affect you and the ones you already own? Because some people bought a lot of them. Some people bought one. And they're all very happy, really happy. I said, does it affect you? And everybody, it was like sort of a phone poll, it's like, and everybody wanted the fourth one, which surprised me because you would think they wouldn't want the fourth one because maybe it waters down their own pieces that they have. And they did. They wanted it, and they wanted it badly. So we did a fourth and just did it recently. And I think it's just about gone. It's amazing. And one of the things I know, the crypto played a big role because they paid.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we're not getting checks with dollars. We're getting crypto.
It's instant.
Instantly. Yeah. It's been, and that taught me a little bit about what you love. It taught me something that was incredible. We did the NFTs. It was so cool. People said, don't do it. You're not going to. I'm sure. And we did it and it sold. Literally, we had anywhere from 6 months to a year. And I think we did it in a day or something.
No, it was that. Right? It was quick. It was quick. And you know what? It was fun. That's what it was. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I'm aware that you probably have a million things to get to. So I kind of want to finish off with a couple more questions for you, Mr. President. So first and foremost, were the NFTs a big part of the story, of your story, of how you came to see the value in digital assets?
A little bit because so many people paid this way. If they didn't, if they would have been paying in dollars, I would have said, that's standard. I would have assumed. And I was blown away. I wasn't overly interested in it, to be honest, but I did ask, what percentage was taken between Bitcoin and all of the other things. But through crypto, and it was a massive majority, and I was a little surprised by that. And that was a while ago now, and it opened my eyes. But I think my children opened my eyes more than anything else. And plus, I have a friend on my right who's a very smart guy, and he's not quite as young as his fantastic son who we're dealing with, Alex, and all of them. But he knows a lot about this stuff for a man of his age. He's still pretty young, but for a man of his age, Steve Witkoff knows a lot about this.
He definitely does. And you see on your right, we're about to get to Steve Witkoff. And for everybody in the audience right now, if you're listening to us live, hang tight. I have one more question for Mr. President. Then we're going to be joined by Don Jr., Eric Trump, and the World Liberty Financial teams, and Corey and everybody, the advisors around us. So we have quite the programming for you. But Mr. President, one last question that you may or may not have answered with your last answer here is, so if there was one thing that got you to see crypto differently, what was it?
If it was what?
One thing that got you to see crypto differently. What was it?
Well, maybe the NFTs. You sort of brought that up because I was surprised again at the percentage of of them that were sold through that form. You could do a new form of currency. You could call it anything you want. But that was, I think it was also the level of enthusiasm that my young sons have for this. Yeah, pretty young guys. I mean, one's extremely young and two are pretty young, right? But the level of enthusiasm they have for crypto. Yeah. And also just to add a third element, I have a lot of friends, very smart people, some very smart people, and they're believers. So it means something to me.
Well, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Everybody hang tight, please. I will go to Mr. Witkoff in a second, and we'll be joining by the next set of guests. But, Mr. President, it's an honor. Thank you for having me. And honestly, the fact that you've done this the day after a second assassination attempt means the world to me. Just a little 30-year-old boy from Montreal that, started from just hosting Twitter Spaces, now hosting yourself. So thank you for allowing me to do so.
Good job. Good job. Thank you very much.
Everybody hang tight. We'll be right back. And we are back over here. That was quite a great interview with President Trump, wasn't it, everyone? There you go. We got this room packed with people. Everybody's still here. Hang tight. Don't leave. Keep sharing. I want to see those retweets because the State of the Crypto address at Mar-a-Lago is still on over here. I have Steve Witkoff on my right, who has to run, to Fox, right? Is that where you're headed next, Hannity? All right. I know the opener for Hannity. That's pretty cool. That's not bad, right? That's like opening for like Led Zeppelin or something. I don't know. So Steve, I'm just gonna go chat with you real quick, and then we'll get to our other guests. First and foremost, you were with President Trump yesterday on the golf course as he was trying to sink that last putt, as President Trump was saying. But how do you feel?
I feel blessed that I was out there because I got to see what he has to live his daily life like. 2 assassination attempts in the last 2 months. He's been conspired against. He's been vilified. He ought to be commended for his 4 years of public service as a president. And I was glad I could be out there and see what it was about for him. He was as courageous a man he is as courageous a man as I've ever seen. He cared about his friends first. He asked about his friends first. And it was inspiring to watch him.
Yeah, thank you for
the Secret Service. I would echo what he said.
Right. They were incredible. They put their lives on the line for him.
Wow. It's incredible that he's just back up today and
It's
just
who he
running
is.
his-
He's resilient. He's stoic. And
Very.
who wouldn't want those qualities in a leader? He is a natural born leader.
So to go back now to what we're here to talk about, and we're going to get into the weeds of it a little more. So how did this collaboration happen? I know it's an incredible story. Could you walk me through it?
My son introduced me to two partners, Chase Hero and Zach Folkman, who are exceptionally bright people. They look a little different than us because they dress a little different than us because that's the prep.
A few more tattoos.
I have one or two tattoos, but Chase,
Oh, really?
Chase, yeah, I have it's hard to see.
It's okay.
But I have a tattoo of my son who I lost, Andrew. Both of my tattoos are of him. I actually think he's the one who put me out with the president yesterday, so I could witness his courage and talk about him to the American public. But I was introduced to Chase and to Zach, and I met traders from all over the world. And these guys are as smart as any currency traders I've ever met. And they began talking to me about decentralized finance, which means frictionless finance, and why it made sense for people, and about the forgotten who can't get credit out there. Credit is what drives the American economy. And as I began to understand it, I said, who would understand this better than the Trump family? And so we had a meeting initially with Eric, Don Jr., and the president and his council. And we said, let's go pursue it. We've been on it for close to 9 months, spent a lot of time on diligence with really, really good lawyers on how to operate in the space. Right. And here we are today, the culmination of a pretty robust effort.
So do you think that this could really change the way wealth is created in America?
I think decentralized finance is the way of the future.
Right.
If you think about the fact that if you want to borrow money today, you have to be almost anointed. You have to be a member of the privileged class. I remember when I left law, I represented the president. I wanted to be in business. It was very, very hard to get credit, and credit again is what drives us. Crypto allows it to happen. Decentralized finance as an application of crypto allows it to happen. So, and we see as a business venture a huge approachable class of people who have been either debanked, as you talked about, or they don't have a bank that they can go to, and they don't have a bank that will listen to them. So we look at it as a business venture, and we say we can democratize it. We can be more egalitarian about it. And at the same time, we can probably do very well in it because there is a large group of people who can't gain credit in the system. And isn't that unfortunate that young people with great ideas, they can't prosecute those ideas? That's a terrible thing. That's not a good thing. That's not the American dream.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Witkoff, for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Really appreciate your insight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And so up next, of course, Don Jr., if you want to, however you guys want to set up here, we got a whole programming for y'all here. So really hang tight. We're filming the whole thing. Everything's going to be broadcasted live a little later on video as well. Everybody's looking great over here.
That's most important, right? As long
That's
as we
the most
look good.
important.
I'm liking your hair, the flow.
Thank
It's
you.
pretty solid.
There was some polls going online around like who's got better hair, would it be President Trump or myself? I think your father has an incredible flow. I have to give it this.
Listen, as a Trump who may or may not one day inherit the Trump hair genes, I don't make fun. I don't mock it because you never know. One day I get away. So far I'm 46. I'm doing pretty good on the hair department. I'm an old man.
There's no chance.
Yeah, look at that white in the beard. Still haven't had the white in the hair, and I'm not vain enough to dye it. So we're good so far.
Well, you're gonna have to share your secrets with us maybe after the stream, because I'm getting old. My knees are hurting from being 30 years old.
Yeah, it's rough. I'd say it gets a lot worse, but I promise you.
Okay.
This thing I miss most about youth is just not waking up sore every day for no reason whatsoever. It's
Oh my. Anyway, so let's get right into this. Don, your traditional banking systems, have not been working for many Americans. This is something that you speak about a lot. It's something that Mr. Witkoff talked about, and that your father talks about, and all of you at the stage. I talked earlier about how my company's been debanked. You know, my CEO has been debanked, and he's an American citizen from Texas. Got a call one day and said, "Hey, come pick up your money, and we're going to send it to you by the mail. Here's a check." Said, "No. I'm going to come pick it up." To me, it was insane that this is even an option, and we're talking about someone who has some money, right? And so I know your family is very familiar with being debanked. So how does DeFi fix these problems?
Well, listen, I mean, I think, I was probably a late adapter into some of, these technologies in the sense that, I was a traditional real estate guy. We were bricks and mortar. And, there was a time period where, the Trumps, we could have picked up the phone and called any CEO of any bank and gotten a loan from anyone in the world on any project and, low LTVs and everything like that. Then we got into the political arena and like that, it was turned off. I mean, it wasn't that we didn't have incredible balance sheets. It wasn't that we didn't have, the reserves. I mean, I've had it for some of my personal businesses. Same story as your partner. I mean, I had an operating business with a partner, and he calls me one morning. It happened to be the day of like CPAC, 2 years ago, and he calls me. He's like, "Our operating account has no money in it. I think we got hacked." Like, what do you mean we got hacked? It's like it was PNC Bank. I mean, this is a major bank, and whatever it is, it's a legit business. With small business, was a little media company just to sort of aggregate news that was not being shown to people otherwise. And he calls the bank like, "Listen, I think we got hacked." "Oh, no, you weren't hacked. We just don't want to do business with you." They didn't. They broke up with us by mail. They didn't even call us. Like, we didn't even get the call. They just said like, "Oh yeah, there's a cashier's check. You'll have it in the mail in a couple of days." But we got an operating business. We got payroll. What are you talking about? So we went from being able to pick up the phone to anyone to having the same thing happen. We've had family members that have had 7-figure accounts with specific banks. We're like, "Well, I just want to use some of that money to get a home loan for this. Will you write the rest of the loan?" "No, that's too risky for us." It's like, we have more money in the account than the value of the home. What are you talking about? It's too risky. But, it's interesting because we went from being sort of, people that would have been, the elite in that world to just being like totally canceled. And it changed our perspective so much. I think we understand what so many Americans are going through. And when you really look at America and our foundation, the way our founding fathers set everything up, I think DeFi would be what they would envision, not a broken, bureaucratized system where a bunch of middlemen are getting pieces and VIGs for doing nothing, for pushing paper, which creates not just sort of a lot of waste and inefficiency, but really has become a politicized process, and we see that. And again, that only goes one way. You can say that I'm, this incredible radical, but, I get called that all the time. I mean, I don't know. I went to the Wharton School of Finance. I have a pretty good finance background. We built and changed the skyline of New York as a family and some cities in the world. I think first time I got invited back to speak at Wharton I was like 28 years old. I didn't know anything probably by then. I still didn't know anything. I'll say that for the record. But I think we've learned a lot since then. And now, that same access isn't available to us. So for me, and so much of what we've done, and really so much of what's been, a part of our political journey, is that, creating actual fairness in these systems that have been, truly bastardized and politicized. I mean, we witnessed it firsthand because it's like you had whatever you wanted, and that was just ripped away from us in an instant. And we're a family that we're blessed to have the means to be able to do a lot of things. We're blessed to be able to have, for someone who doesn't have that power or the soapbox or the balance sheet. What do they do? How do they finance it? And so it's a real problem that needed to be addressed. And honestly, I think this is the way. This is the way of the future. This is the way to eliminate that efficiency. A lot of it being peer-to-peer and not going through the usual bureaucratized system. So I think everything that's been talked about right now is so important. But for me, this is about how we save so much of what I believe our founding fathers really intended for our country.
So I was going to ask you something that you answered. I was going to ask you, has banking become political in the USA? Clearly, it seems that you seem to think
not seems. It is.
It is.
It has become politicized. You can look at that, whether it's, spreads, whether it's rates, who can get what. That's been going on for a long time. And, it's sad and it's disgusting.
So I was going to ask you if it affects every American, which you did. You get into that already.
Yeah.
So the question is, if this all affects the everyday American, to me, cryptocurrency is freedom.
Yeah.
This is why I do what I do.
Correct.
I own my money on my ledger. Nobody can take it away from me.
Correct.
So how does DeFi help the everyday American?
Well, listen, I think it takes that political, component out of it. I mean, and you see that, right? I mean, if you look at, the leading edge of Silicon Valley and the people doing these things, these are longtime Democrat donors that have come over and flipped sides because the Democrat Party itself isn't willing to give up the power and that control that they want over everyone's balance sheet, over their banking, over these systems. They see crypto as a threat, to the political power that they've built. And I mean, that's why, again, not necessarily, I'm not talking about the minions, you know what I mean? They all work there, they're going to be woke and whatever that is. But if you look at a lot of the leaders in Silicon Valley, whether it's VC or otherwise, they're flipping sides because they understand that they are for that freedom. That freedom has allowed them to live that American dream. That's allowed them to do these things. And I think that's a real threat politically from the other side right now. And so it's been interesting to watch that transformation. But I think, this ability for everyone to have that, clean start, no politicization, I think that's everything. And I can say that as someone who's been, still blessed, but still incredibly impacted. I can only imagine how much more difficult it is for someone that doesn't have sort of, let's call it the natural head start that we have, having worked as a family business for 40-something years.
Right, so I know many people in crypto, right, who may not have supported your father before that flipped